Alright, hi everybody, this is Tim Schur, and on this video we're going to talk about how to overcome sabotage number 3. Sabotage number 3 is giving more energy to what you are afraid of than what you actually want to have happen. Of course, we've talked about sabotage number 1, which is focusing on what you don't want instead of on what you do want. You got to make sure that you're focusing your mind on where you want to go, on what you want to cause, attract, or create in your life so that you move in that direction. Sabotage 2 is making sure that you are reinforcing what you want, and sabotage number sabotage number 2 is accidentally reinforcing the wrong things and expecting to fail instead of expecting to succeed. And sabotage number 3 is focusing on the idea that we want to associate more pleasure and energy to the activities that we want to move towards, and we want to associate pain and discomfort to the things we want to move away from. So let's talk about how this works normally. If somebody wants to transform their body, if they want to lose weight, but when they talk about food, they talk about how wonderful the food is and how they love to eat and how they can't wait to get home and just satisfy themselves with that chocolate cake and everything else. What happens is you're putting all your energy into the junk food, and then on the same breath you'll complain about why you have these sugar cravings. I tell this story a lot about my client Virginia, who ended up losing a bunch of weight, but during her process she had hit a plateau. And I remember doing a class one time, and I heard her talking to other people that were there, and she was describing her southern cooking and her fried chicken and her gravy and biscuits, and she was making everybody's mouth water. And I thought, uh-oh, I better shift here. So I said, hey, Virginia, I said, tell me about healthy food. And she goes, what, rabbit food? You know, like carrots and celery, you know? And I said, notice how when you talk about your southern cooking, you make it sound sexy and attractive and delicious and yummy. And when you talk about the healthy food, you make it seem boring and drab. I said, I want you to change your strategy. Do the exact opposite. Make the healthy food seem exciting and vibrant, and make the junk food seem boring and gray. And she looked at me like I had two heads, and she's like, all right. Well, she comes strolling in about 3 weeks later, and she's got a big old smile on her face. And I said, Ginny, why are you smiling? And she says, because I'm down 7 more pounds. And I said, wow. I said, what have you been doing? She says, let me tell you about my Hawaiian buffet. I get out my wooden salad bowls, and I get my greens from the garden and my peppers. She says, I get my tall glass of water with a slice of lemon on it. Looks like I'm on vacation. And I said, that sounds great. I said, what about the fried chicken? And she goes, fried chicken? That makes me feel greasy. I haven't had that for weeks. Okay, she switched her strategy. She put energy towards what she wanted, and she started making this other stuff seem boring. When I help people with positive thinking, with focusing their mind on what they want, you know, a lot of times people will be really passionate about what they don't want, what they don't like, what they're afraid of. And then when I ask them what they do want, they have no idea, because they're not really thinking about what they do want, which is one of the reasons why they don't have it. It might be one of the reasons why you don't have exactly what you want, or why you don't have more of what you want. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're putting energy on the things that we do want. So I remember this one guy, I said, all right, so we're going to focus on having this more positive attitude, and we're going to start to do some thought identification, which means if you have a negative thought, if the thought pops into your mind that I'm such a loser, things never work out for me, that you're going to catch it, recognize it, and then shift it. You're going to go, okay, what do I want to believe instead? Well, I want to believe that I'm a good person. And so I taught him how to do this. And so he came back about a week later, and he just looked as kind of bummed out as he did the week before. And I said, well, did you practice? And he said, well, kind of. He said, I tried it, and that didn't work at all. And I said, well, describe what you did. Just show me what you did. And he said, well, I was sitting there, and I was getting frustrated about something, and I started to get upset. And then I told myself, all right, let me practice this stupid stuff. So I'm a good person. I'm going to accomplish this goal. Things are going to work out for me. He said, and then I just got frustrated. You know what? I said, you know what? That's a bunch of crap. All I'm doing is lying to myself, and this isn't going to work, and it hasn't worked before, and I'm just sitting here fooling myself. The whole thing is stupid. And I said, notice where you put your energy. You put all your energy, if without saying anything, what do you think would be reinforced just from body language? So if I was talking about one thing, just from my body language, do you think any energy's coming out? Now, if I talk like this, do you see the difference? If I'm sitting here and I'm telling myself something that I believe in, or that I want to believe in, and I have this body language, there's no energy behind it. Now, if I'm talking about something that I want to believe in and I'm going like this and I'm moving forward and I'm getting excited and I'm telling myself, all of a sudden I'm creating energy. Say the way your brain works is you have an idea and then you create emotion, and that emotion is like the rocket fuel that takes that idea and causes your brain to grab on and believe it. What do you think a phobia is? A phobia is just an idea of something that gets wrapped around a huge amount of emotion and intensity at once, and it causes your brain to create a connection or an instant belief that causes you to think that if this happens, that's going to happen. You know, it causes an emotional response that happens quickly inside of you. And so what we want to do is we want to use this idea of how your brain works to your advantage. So what you can do is you can think about what you want to believe in, and then you put energy behind it. You walk around and you say it to yourself. You tap yourself in the head. Go for a walk and say these affirmations to yourself so that you're moving. It generates emotion and it will cause your brain to believe it faster. It's one of the reasons why for you to feel motivated, you have to get up and move. You can't be motivated sitting in a chair not moving. You got to create energy, and the fastest way to create energy is to move your body. I've got a great program called Emotional Mastery, How to Turn Fear into Power at timshire.com if you need a little help with this. It's a great program. It's just 80 minutes of pure power that's going to come out of your CD player from this program. Because I talk about how to use your body, how to use your focus, how to use what you say to yourself to create any kind of feeling or emotion that you desire. So when we are wanting to believe more of the positive things we say to ourselves, we have to say it with energy. So if you start to have a negative thought like, God, this is never going to work out, I'm such a loser, what you do is try to make that seem boring. Don't change what you say, change how you say it, okay? Oh, I'm such a loser. I'm so, nothing ever works out for me. I guess I'm going to be a loser forever. Whatever you need to do, okay? Change the way you say it. And then if it's something that you want to believe, maybe you can say it with a little bit more passion, a little bit more energy. All right? So, you know what? Things are getting better for me, and every day in every way, I am getting better. I'm not a loser. I'm a winner because I decide that I am. And every day I'm going to treat myself like a winner, like someone who does the best he can or the best she can, and then I'm just going to get better every day. And every day in every way, I am going to just be more caring and more loving and more encouraging of myself, and it's going to work. And I'm going to feel good about myself. You know, every day, in every way, I am getting better and better because I am enough. I am already good. See, as you start moving, as you get more animated, now I know that for some people it's going to seem silly. For some people, they're going to make fun of it. Some people are going to get embarrassed. Some people are going to feel uncomfortable. And those people are not going to get what they're really after because there's too many excuses. Right? There's too many reasons not to do it because they're worried about how they're going to look. Well, if you want real results, you've got to do something a little bit more radical. You've got to do something that's outside your comfort zone. You're never going to make a breakthrough staying in your comfort zone. You need to expand it. So try some of these silly little things. I know they look silly. I know I look goofy when I'm sitting here, but I don't care because I've created massive success in all areas of my life by using these tools. Okay? These tools work. I've made 10 times the money I've ever made before. I have a great relationship. I'm healthy and strong. I got lots of energy. And everywhere I go, I create more abundance. Okay? So I don't take advice on how to be happy from people who aren't. I don't take advice on how to be wealthy from people that aren't. I want you to make sure that you're taking advice that's going to serve you. So if you're worried about how somebody else thinks of you, that's their opinion. It does not matter. What matters is the opinion you have of yourself. And if you want to improve that opinion you have of yourself, you have to put some energy behind it. Okay? So make sure that you are reinforcing what you want to believe by getting your body into it, by saying it with passion. And when you start to have thoughts that are upsetting, say it in a way that's boring, right? Or say it use your favorite accent and make it sound funny, right? So that you start to, shift the way you're hearing it so that you don't want to hear it anymore. Here's another little quick trick for you. If you're saying something negative to yourself, do you know somebody in your life that you would never listen to them, like you would never take their advice at all? Like if they gave you any advice, you would be like, no way. Think of that person, and then whenever you have a negative thought, imagine giving that negative thought that person's voice, right? As though they're saying it to you. And then right away you can go, yeah, right, I'm not listening to that nonsense. I'm not paying attention to that at all. It will help you to look at it in a different way. It will help you to say, you know what? I don't have to buy into that anymore. I can buy into whatever I want. And so why don't you buy into something that helps you feel loved, something that helps you feel supported, something that helps you feel encouraged. You're worth it, right? Even if you don't think you are. And hopefully you'll realize that you are, and then you say, you know what, I am worth it, and put some energy into it. I am worth it, right? And then you will feel this way, and then you will experience this, because the world is a mirror. You don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. So the more clear you get on the inside, the more happier you will be everywhere in your life. Success and happiness is an inside job. And so as you become more aware of what you're saying, as you expect to win, as you associate more pleasure to the things that you want, as you put more energy into that, then that's what you're going to receive. Remember, where your attention goes is where all the energy flows. I hope this helps. Remember to master your mind and you will master your life. You can always go to overcomeselfsabotagenow.com and get our other free resources. And thanks for watching. I hope today and every day is a sure success.